I'm calling the meeting to order. Is there an approval of the minutes of the last meeting?
Okay.
Did anyone? I didn't even see them, I must admit. So
They exist. I see them. I will do a second to accept, or I will do a motion to accept the minutes.
okay,
They look like minutes.
okay, good. Is there a second to that?
I'll second that, Phyllis.
Well, you
I've
can't.
read the minutes from last meeting that
Are you official yet?
I second that they look like minutes.
Okay. Okay. And all those approve, all those opposed? I'm not looking. Oh, yeah, it's recorded, isn't it? Reports, financial report. We did, I just had it in front of me. Yep. We were getting pretty low on the funds. We did submit a first half of the year expenditures to the NEA. And God, it was only what, couple of weeks? It came into the account. So we currently, and I've proportioned it out to capital savings and to education. So we have a total right now of 38,225 total funds in our account. Which do you want? I'll send this out. What is in capital savings, what's in the building fund, program, education, and then checking. There will be about almost 3,000 immediately going out of checking. So we're getting close to the end of the month or the beginning of the month. So with that in mind, we're at least breathing okay. And hopefully we get enough that covers the messy hands, and then we're in good shape. So with that, I think rather than accepting the treasurer's report, I'd say accept that it was given or provided. Just to note that it was provided and will be sent to each board member.
I will move that we have been informed of the financial.
Very good. Let's see, Ally S. She says we need TP, paper towels, hand soap, bathroom trash cans, etc. I would say, Ally, there should be funds on that credit card that you could get that. Just make sure we have receipts of what it is.
Okay.
Anything else on that level?
I think those are the big like supply things for now.
On Rural X Conference, you said the cost is $325 with taxes and fees. I just looked into the allotment from the State Arts Council, and that's supposed to cover the conference, your travel, and lodging.
Right.
There shouldn't be anything left, really.
Yeah, well, that's how much is left on the card right now, because
Right.
well, a lot of our food was covered while we were there.
Okay,
And
wait a minute, what card?
the travel card that I have that you put
Okay.
the $1,000 on.
All right. Then you and I need to sit down with that and because food was not to be on that. Sorry.
Oh,
So I'm confused. The Arts Council provided a grant for your what?
Oh, why don't we just do, Ellie, submit, get all that stuff together, put that together instead of us talking about that now, if we could. But Ellie, do you have more info or can you tell us more about the rural X? I got stuff on that the other day and I was curious, but I couldn't find any more than flowery talk of rural living. Do you know any more about it?
I don't. It looks exciting. I've heard people talking about the keynote speaker a lot. But Jeffrey sent it, so he might have more insight.
Yes, so I don't have a lot more insight. So one of the presenters is Sandra Molman. And it was my connection to it. I went to a community built association conference that Ali also attended. And one of the attendees there is associated with the Dakota Resources Group. And so then I think that's how my name got connected. So she sent a message to Sandra saying, share this with Jeffrey. It seems like something he'd be excited about, and maybe he might know others that would be interested as well. And so the first three, one of the first three names that popped in my head was Allie's, and I sent it over to her. I have heard from several people now that the keynote speaker, Melody Warnick, is supposed to be pretty great. I don't know that much about her. I was intrigued partially because the credit union just received community development financial institutions status, and this organization, Dakota Resources, also has achieved that designation through the Treasury. It means that they are serving underserved populations. They seem somehow then to be having some sort of funding resources, because that's what the CDFI is, a Treasury certification. That means that you're lending or providing grants to underserved populations. There's a presenter named Audrey Lutz that I was quite excited about, who is from central Nebraska, and she works with immigrant refugee communities, does interesting community building work, it sounds like. She's on the board of directors of the Grand Island Public Schools. Savannah Barrett, Exchange Director for Art of the Rural and co-founder of the Kentucky Rural Urban Exchange. And then Raina is going to be presenting for the others. And then there was a couple that were related more to kind of infrastructure of communities. So the Beth Osborne and the Chris Zimmerman. So, part of the draw for me is if I maybe end up with a seat on the county commission, I hope to bring some kind of new thought to design processes on the county level and planning. And I'm excited about the idea of melding more artistic design and visioning into community building in the area. So it seemed like there was some alignment there with possibly, certainly with things that I'm interested in. And it seemed like things that maybe could be little links in for the VAAC. I think that since we've gotten this large NEA grant, I like the idea of then keeping our feelers out for other sorts of grant opportunities. It sounds like there's going to be a lot of networking, and it's not a real long conference. I think it's a half day one day and then a full day the next day. So I'm currently planning on taking a day and a half off work to attend. That's my rundown. I don't know a lot more than probably what you've seen on the website at this point, but
When is it?
June 7th and 8th. So coming up fast.
Are there any scholarship assistance, lower fee things that the VAC person could apply for to make it easier on the tuition or the admission?
There was that closed yesterday.
Okay, well, never mind.
Well,
I
it depends. It all depends on how many they got.
yeah.
It'd be worth calling and asking her where and
If
how.
there's any more available, that's reasonable. Yep, that's a good thought. And I should have sent this to, Ally sooner. I honestly didn't open the email that Sandra had sent me till the day before yesterday, and then realized, oh, well, if anybody wants to go, they might want a scholarship. So I should probably get that out to people. So. I think, let's see, I think that possibly Susan Hegestad might have attended one previously and said it was, but she might have just been saying that she'd attended something else that the keynote speaker had been at, but she was very excited about the keynote speaker. So.
As I figure it, of the South Dakota Arts Council, and that needs to be, as Aaron said, done elsewhere, but that is basically, I think we've spent it. There would be reimbursement for travel for you, Ally.
Well, it was a scholarship, not the development grant.
Oh,
So different.
so it, what, we should have, never mind. So what I'm trying to figure out where this $219 is then. Is that on that card that you're figuring?
That's
Oh,
what's left over. I was just thinking that like if that was already budgeted.
no, it was not budgeted whatsoever. That is $1,000 we did not have any budget for.
Okay.
So we're over budget already on that. So you can't figure it's open.
Okay.
That's why, that 219 can go to supplies. 'Cause
Okay.
That's a definite that we budgeted for, but the rest of it we did not. So, okay. Yeah, if, I don't know if we can find out if there's some scholarship, it'd be great.
So there may well be. I
Yep.
submitted a scholarship application yesterday morning at 8 a.m. The scholarship period closed at 5 p.m. and they let me know at like 5:30 that I had one. And I realized that I didn't have a very competitive application. I put in there that I work at a financial institution and then accidentally associated my work email with it. So they probably think that the credit union is incredibly cheap, that they can't come up with $289 to send one of their employees there. I was not applying as an employee of the credit union, but yeah, I think Allie's case is stronger than mine. And especially because the application period just closed at 5 p.m. today. If she, wanted to try getting one in there, she could. And if, she and I look at it more and maybe it seems like a better fit for Allie, it's possible that maybe I could just hand off my scholarship to Allie. So, but I'd say that it's probably worth, Allie, if you do have any time this evening and want to try submitting one, with some apologies for being after the deadline, but that it's probably worth trying. Because if anybody was going to get denied, it should have been me. So.
You could use the the reasoning that you had to get approval from the board to even apply, which is true,
Brilliant.
which is appropriate.
I will do that. All
And
they can say is no.
okay, and I would say it's 2 days, 2 full days.
It starts at 2 p.m. for some reason on the first day, and then there's some things kind of after 5. And then the next day it runs from, I think, 9 to 5. So basically a day and a half.
Okay, the other,
On the USD campus, so no travel. Yep.
I think it sounds really worth it. I wish it were after Messy Hands rather than before. Can you afford the time?
Yeah.
for you to decide. That's the big one, because I think it's very valuable to go to. There's a lot yet to accomplish for messy hands, so you'll have to judge that.
Okay.
If you don't get a scholarship, what does the board approve paying for one person to go?
How much is it again?
She put down 325. Jeffrey said 290 something, but that's
Yeah,
probably without tax, and
Yep, exactly.
so around $325.
Okay.
So are you asking for a motion to approve one individual to go to this?
That's what I am, but you can't, you can't do it yet. We haven't elected you to the board. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, okay, yeah.
You're on top of this. We need to elect you. We can go back and elect you, and then you can.
What fund would this come out of? Just the operational expenses?
I don't know where it'd come out of.
Okay.
I'd have to look. I was trying to get a handle on the budget because it's, some things have changed and we are over budget already, so that's where I am nervous.
Yeah.
$50,000 seems like a lot of money, but when you've already spent 25 of it and it's May.
So I think that since I've been approved for a scholarship, I think that Ally should attempt to get a scholarship, and if she can't, I think that Ally maybe should take my scholarship. I think that makes, it's budget sense. I also have a ton on my plate, and that is primary election day. I'm going to be picking up kids at the airport in Omaha at 11 p.m. that night. There's a lot on my plate too. So I think that let's cross our fingers that both of us can go. And then if only one of us can go, I will just say, wish I could make it, but I'd like to hand this scholarship off to another member of an organization. I mentioned the VAAC in my application, so another member of my organization who will be able to attend. So how's that sound? That makes budget sense, and then definitely at least one person will be there.
That sounds fantastic. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys will work it out. Old business Racing Magpie, we put in a capacity, what? If you could explain that, Ally.
The Racing Magpie.
Yep.
That was the capacity building program that we applied for increasing capacity to include more Black Indigenous and people of color in our organization. They only awarded it to 4 organizations, and we did not make it in this round. So.
But what we seem to have full access to or provided is the Art for Life program. Did you get to talk to anybody from that at the conference?
I didn't. No, they were really busy.
They sent 3 times all the information on the program, of which none of it came through. So we know nothing about, that'll have to go to the next meeting because, we have an overview. What it is funds to add or provide more programs directed towards people of my age and older. And the curiosity on that, the hospital and the assisted living center, they have their own through Ari has their own program right there, but the senior center would be wide open for us to provide some more input. They were fabulous when we provided the puppets over there. So when we have more information on that, we'll let you know. The State Arts Council is funding it, and they are wanting us to be part of it. Conference, what'd you learn?
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest, I'm still processing a lot of it. There's some cool stuff from Springboard for the Arts, which is an organization out of St. Paul. And they provided a lot of like toolkits for programming and for accessing funding and that kind of stuff. So lots of information to sort through for sure.
Basically what I got from the conference was a starting off point of where I want to start my programming and how I want to start budgeting as well. I definitely learned a lot about artists and how they made things. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, what I took away from the conference was how I want to start and how I want to start off with programming and how I have a general idea of how I want to make more classes for the VAAC and to get basically this place more operational throughout the next couple of years. So that's what I'm taking away from the conference so far.
So,
Yeah, I'm still processing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
so when you were there, were you in some really neat spaces that were working well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say that, yes. It was very interesting because the majority of the sessions would be named one thing and then have nothing to do with the name. So it's very like, oh, this is about programming, but then ended up being about trauma and how it affects your brain and how art can help that. It was very fascinating. I enjoyed my time, but I learned a lot about artists this weekend and how they think.
I did attend virtually, at least part of it, and did learn we have to get our bylaws pretty much rewritten,
Yes,
as well as possibly our articles of incorporation. It
Yep.
seems the state changed the rules in 2016. The last time our bylaws were addressed were right prior to 2016, and our articles of incorporation were in 1974. So I think they might be a little out of date as far as, you know, running legally. So those are something that really needs a review and updates by and using the state law to update them. There's some very strong language that actually protects us, liability wise, et cetera, that needs to be in our bylaws and our incorporation.
That sounds South Dakota.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Oh yeah, it was very South Dakota. So that was rather interesting. I mean, shit. I mean,
yeah, pretty much.
I see Scott taking notes.
I'm writing down.
See, Allie, I was impressed. Oh, sorry. Go on, Phil.
Oh, I was going, can we use your legal mind even though you can't professionally or?
Oh yeah, not a problem.
Good. Super. In fact, with that, I would entertain a motion, or would you introduce yourself, Scott? And why you're here?
Yeah, I'm Scott Mantrack. I've been in Vermillion for approximately 20 years. Went to law school here. later in life after having a teaching career. Practiced law in town for 12 years, have since retired just due to burnout and other issues. I know Martha and Allie, and I've known Phyllis for 17 years, I guess.
Thereabouts.
15 years at least. I'm actually very interested in everything that's done here. I'm also part of the Shakespeare board in town, the Shakespeare Festival board, and I am willing to help in any way possible. I find that your mission and goal is very important to this town, to provide for a well-balanced, well-rounded community. That Vermillion is a community, and that's very important in South Dakota, and especially in Vermillion, to have a community that comes together for things. And I would be very honored and excited to be a part of this board.
Well, I would motion that Scott be made a member of this board.
A second.
And all those in favor?
Aye.
You are elected.
What?
One of the things with the bylaws is reestablishing term. We used to have 1 year, 2 year, and 3 year terms, and that's something that in going over the bylaws, just with that, establish existing board members' terms, and so that when you're trying to get others to be board members, you can say, well, there's a 1 year, or there's a 2 year, or there's a 3 year term available slot open.
That
It's
makes
a lot easier.
sense, actually.
So thank you, Scott. Welcome.
Thank you. This is exciting.
Thank you. On a new board.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one.
Hell yeah.
The spring cleaning art sale, VAAC rummage sale.
Mhm. Mhm. Like that. I skipped over something. What about it?
We decided to postpone that because we don't have time.
Nope. Gonna get after messing out.
Wise move on my part. I feel there's enough to do without having to do that. I mean, the summer art.
We were kind of thinking, same big interest of time, focus more on after messy hands. We talked about doing like a adult messy hands type of a thing where we just sort of do like a month push where we have like bi-weekly classes or something like that.
I'm looking to really find out what adults in town would be interested in doing. So like, it would be multiple different things just to like figure it out. Because honestly, I ask people and it's like, well, whatever you think would be neat. I don't like that. Tell me what you want. So
You will rarely get what they want other than ceramics.
yeah,
You need to find, look at what other places are giving and then see if you can find someone to teach it, and then,
that's like,
get people to sign up. It's people see and then they want. They
Yeah.
don't know what they want, and they won't ever know what they want.
that's
So
why we have multiple things just to be like, did you like this? Did you not like this? What can we do better? How can I help you so you can help me?
I'm just saying, right now, all of that needs to be spent on getting messy hands.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Summer art classes are very difficult, and I'll tell you, August, people leave town, are not
Sure.
doing anything. So other than providing the Messy Hands art show in the gallery, both in the gallery and at the fair, are what has always been August, because that's, people can come and it's an event we have, but it's not interrupting people's vacations or weeks, et cetera. It's,
Sure.
Anything else, I wouldn't try to offer anything in August.
Okay.
It's, it's a lost month in Vermillion. Unless it's swimming or boating or fishing or, hey, a fishing outing or maybe a kite day, kite making day or something
That,
of that sort could be a possibility. But
Okay.
more an activity rather than a class, kind of, you know. If you think for that month.
Okay.
So Messy Hands 22, Art tells our stories. You want to handle that, Ally?
Sure, yep. So, the registration is up and accepting submissions. We already have 7 people signed up. The poster is designed and ready to go to print. I was thinking that we could maybe do a mailing of some sort, maybe a postcard, similar design, to send out. I don't know how everybody felt about that. And then I need to get the submission to all the online calendars. I'll get that out later this week. That's the stuff that's going.
I noticed there's still not anything in the Plain Talk or the broadcaster.
Yeah, that's the, that's that calendar submission. That's the media push that we need to do.
And
I think that, yeah.
submit the poster as is to the VCDC Monday Messenger.
Yep,
I was gonna put that one out there. I think that's a really good place to have stuff is the Monday Messenger. Cheap and gets a lot of reach. I get a lot of stuff through that these days.
Yep.
I think mailings are expensive. I'm now talking from the point of view of being a very amateur candidate. And my God, it costs so much money to send people things in the mail. I think we could maybe consider if we have an email list of families who had young children that attended Messy Hams in the past, maybe we would send out a mailing to that very short list. If we do have access to that, just to make sure that families that have attended in the past know that it's up and running again, that might be worthwhile. But then I think otherwise pushing on social media and emailing email lists, flyers at all the places around town. I think people do get stuff from flyers, or at least see flyers in their favorite locations and then maybe follow up elsewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
I was surprised how easy it was to get QR codes together too. I've started
Yeah.
putting those on some of my candidate stuff, and I didn't realize how easy that is, but that might be something that's helpful to young families if we have
That's
flyers.
QR codes on the poster.
Oh, cool. Perfect. Yeah.
I don't
That's
like
good.
these notifications.
Perfect.
Also, I've got stuff ready for the newsletter, except can you send me some photos from the past classes? And anything more on the Messy Hands classes and teachers and possibly pictures of them? Have you gotten that yet?
No, I haven't gotten anything from anybody except from Michelle. Although we did talk to Hector yesterday.
Uh-huh.
But we haven't gotten anything in writing from him yet.
he's very excited and will be he's gonna be emailing us this week about everything.
Cool, so we should have.
I didn't catch any of that.
I talked to him yesterday and he'll be emailing us this week. So to have all of his supply list and everything else to be like signed and all of that.
Okay. The quicker you can get it to me, the quicker we can get, because the idea was to get an email out, I mean, a newsletter out that is also all of the members and doing a membership push and, you know, the whole schmear of a newsletter. Okay, fundraisers, t-shirts. Have you found out any costs on that?
No. There's not cost on that, though. that is,
I think Grace was very involved in the Luann Big Bear Greta Thunberg one. She might be able to let you know where they had those. I don't know if they produced them at Bread and Ink downtown or how she did that, but I thought that was a really smart fundraising push. They had like tumblers. I think they had like tumblers and t-shirts were $30 each. They might have had something else that was like a little bit less. They had Luann Big Bear did the design. It's awesome. I immediately bought a $30 t-shirt. And then all the proceeds, so the artist donated the design, and then all the proceeds for that goes to support the Sierra, the Living River group of the Sierra Club. But that I like that model, and maybe we can try to. It sounds like that's kind of what we're working on. So
yeah. I'll reach out to Grace and see if she can give me any information.
how that worked, yeah.
Grace who?
Freeman.
Oh, cool. I don't know of another Grace, but I didn't know there might be.
And actually, she's Linda, but yeah. Oh yeah, they had these nifty little postcards. I happen to have one on my desk. It's got all this great stuff on the back. Ways to donate. That's all backwards. Ways to stand with Greta. Want to make a difference. Ways to donate. It's got all kinds of stuff. A QR code you can send money to real easy. Yeah. Neat.
Cute. No, something like that is fabulous. I don't feel that the poster would be a seller as a design.
Yeah, not as is,
Oh.
but if we can't get anybody to do a design for us, then shrug. I'll do what we gotta do.
Mhm.
But
Or I'll drop something up, we'll figure it out. But I did put a call out in my email, but I haven't heard anything from anyone, but I'll push that a little bit too.
did you pick out specific people to send it to?
No, it was just my email newsletter.
I never saw it.
It was towards the bottom.
Huh.
Yeah, I saw that.
Okay. And sponsorships, probably haven't been able to get to anybody yet.
Not this week.
No,
So, I mean, not last week.
we are, well, since we have the registration form done, that was like the hardest part, getting all the details ironed out. So now we can take that information and put it into like a spiel that we can use to take to businesses to kind of explain what we're doing. So we're gonna put that together this week. And I'll send that out to everybody in case other people are having conversations, so that we're all kind of using the same language. And then the paint cans, we'll take those with us when we go out. Well, that kind of good stuff is the next week or two. Then we talked a little bit about a committee. I think that would be helpful, especially for us, just to have a smaller group to go to for help or to run decisions by and that kind of thing. I think that some of the parents that have already signed up would probably be excited about that. We can do a little bit more of a push. But yeah, we need at least one board member probably to be
We
involved.
basically need, well, on a committee, but we need, as a board, we need 3 to 4 more board members
Like in general,
in general.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking that I might ask Ann Manning, if she has time to help us in like a committee capacity.
What exact committee is this for? I'm confused.
Met committee that we talked about.
The microphone is really bad.
Okay.
Messy Hands Committee. So
Oh.
specifically to make sure that like a small group is focused just on each day making a little progress to make sure that that has got everything lined up for go day. So it's not waiting for to get board input once a month.
Sounds excellent.
I would love to, but it's the wrong time for me. So I'm not going to be very useful until June 7th. After June 7th, I'll be helpful, but until June 7th, I won't be.
Speaking of messy hands, Allie, not Allie. Who am I after here? Cynthia. Went for a block. Is your daughter going to be in messy hands this year or around?
Oh, remind me of the dates of Camp Messy Hands.
Is 11th to 15th for 5 to 12 and July 18th to 22nd for the 13 to 19. So for her group, the 18th to the 22nd of July.
But I'm also thinking of the 11th through 15th as an assistant, a paid assistant.
The 11th through the 15th.
Yep.
So she has music camp at USD the 11th through the 15th, but
You're
maybe
shitting me. Oh, sorry. How did we do that one? Oh, crap.
yeah, oops. But maybe Jacob would help. Because he's not going to music camp. He doesn't enjoy it like she does. But then the 18th, let me look. So this is July. Yeah, so the 18th through the 30th, both of them are going to Oxford to study business for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
So they're not
okay.
even in the country. So yeah, the timing's not good for my family, but maybe the 11th through the 15th, Jacob could help.
You could ask him. We are interested in hiring him if he's available.
Okay, cool.
I know Sienna Lewis had expressed interest as well. That's
Oh,
another.
good. Okay. Yes.
Okay, and tell me the times that he would be expected to be there.
I
Do we know yet?
don't think we can
We
give
don't
that
know yet.
moment.
But it would be like most of the day or half
Oh,
a
it would
day
be all
or
day. It'd be all day,
it would be all day. Okay, all day.
9 to 3:30 or something of that sort.
Oh, that's helpful. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely ask him. Cool. That'd be good for him, actually.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and apologize for last year.
Oh, yeah, poor thing. It's like this, I'm not in the right place.
He's in the right place. Everybody else was in the wrong place. But we had all adults and one teen, and the poor teen felt really out of place.
Yeah, he wasn't digging it.
Yeah, it was most understandable.
Yeah.
Careful about that.
Oh, geez.
Anyways, but this year he'd be paid to be there to help out, which,
That would be very cool. He's never had a paid job before, so that would be kind of a big deal to him. He does do a lot of volunteering at Sharing the Dream, and he also teaches children on the weekends chess, but that's all volunteering. So that would be very interesting.
not a
I think.
high payment, but it's definite payment,
Hey, that counts. Yeah, cool.
Great. I wanted to make sure I remembered that.
Okay, awesome.
So we have potentially 2, Allie and
Yeah.
Martha. That's great. And does Sienna know any of the rest of that crew is going to be around? Ever get in touch with Martha or Allie?
I don't know if I've made that connection yet. So I know she expressed interest, and she right now I think is in New Orleans. Her older sister just graduated from LSU, so I don't think she's quite back to town yet, but I'm just making myself a note to not forget to reach out to her and connect her to Ally. So
Oh. So where was I before that got?
So,
Wait,
and I, just so you know, I just donated $1,000. I don't know if that's enough to help with the air conditioning, but you could use it for, I guess, the greatest need. I didn't say what it was for. I just made a donation.
sounds great.
you.
Thank you.
But just wanted to give you the heads up about that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
A little something. So,
Yep. Um, let's see. So, and yeah, so any other recommendations for a committee, whether it be board or non-board or anybody? Suppose Marina is probably really busy with her job, which is, but she'd be good on at least,
Really would, yeah.
um,
I wonder, would Janet Beeman have any interest in assisting?
I don't know.
Hey,
It's worth a ask.
she's retired and excited about the arts and has been involved in the past. Might be able to bring some helpful.
That's a good thought. We've already, Michelle is already, you could ask her if she'd be willing to be on a committee.
Mm.
You know, she's hired as a teacher, but she'd have some good input.
Yeah, she really would.
Because I've got to state now, from now until even mid-July, I'm not particularly going to be available. I've got a one-person show going up, plus a few medical things happening that knock me out for a day or two in between. So, you know, my time is going to be very dedicated to making sure I have all my work ready for the show.
Totally.
Okay. And a new business, we have offer of a fundraising event at the Varsity suggested June 18th.
I love it. I just went to a fundraising event at the Varsity and it was a blast. It was so much fun. Music, great venue, just packed. It was really, really fun. And if they're comfortable donating the space, that's so cool.
Well, it was, what's her name? That owns the Varsity.
Diane.
Diane Worth.
Yeah, Diane has wanted to do something for the Arts Council for quite a while, and we've been looking at various options, and this was one she came up with. So what needs to be coordinated on that?
The biggest thing is, what do we want to do?
Yep.
Do we want it to be music? Do we want to do like a wine and canvas? Both. That'll be the biggest coordination, I think. Other than that, it should be fairly simple to put together.
You do know that they're doing wine and canvas up at Pizza Ranch every week or every 2 weeks or something.
Ah,
Gross. We're not doing that.
Yeah,
Let's do something more fun, like beer and what? Yeah.
beer pong. Beer pong. I haven't done one in years. Let's just do beer pong. What do you think, bud?
Reach out to that band Blue Rooms. They played there twice. They're, I think, made up of mostly university professors.
Oh,
They bring in a pretty good crowd of about 80 to 100 people.
Who's that?
okay.
Rune.
Yeah,
Yep. They're fun.
they played at the progressive candidate meet and greet.
Neat.
Yeah, that was the packed one that I was at. It was just a blast. There was dancing, bunch of excited people.
And they seem like really nice people. I mean, they're just they just want to play music and have fun.
How much are they?
Well, I'm sure they donated their time for that, so we would be asking for them for an evening of music as a, for a token amount, probably.
Uh-huh.
I just think reaching out to them, that would be a band, and then
Mhm.
but
Hmm.
they draw a pretty good crowd. I mean, they get good people.
No, that would be awesome. Something to think on down the road is, what is it, the Clay Creek Cowboy Band?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
They are and have been members for the last 5 years.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
they bring in a huge crowd everywhere they play.
We should
Well,
probably-
let's,
Of their shows.
we could
Yeah.
ask them. I'm sure they may not be available, but where they annually are members.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a
hurts to
good
ask.
thought too.
Hell yeah.
I'll see what they're up to, and maybe if they can't, maybe they know somebody who'd be excited.
Okay, I think it is only appropriate that we should ask them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
being
Yeah,
members.
I was, thinking Bruce and Cindy's band, the Canby Street Misfits, would be one to ask, but I was trying to, I think that they might be playing a Gayville Hall show with some other, not as the Canby Street Misfits, but I think they might have a Gayville Hall show scheduled that evening, so we'll try to figure out if that's happening or not.
Is that a Saturday night?
Yeah, it's a Saturday night. But they're ones that I think would, on the right evening, I think they'd be interested in donating, and they tend to bring a little crowd too, so they're pretty fun. And longtime members, all of them. So. I'm starting to get fidgety baby here, so I might have to leave the
Well, we're very
music
close to the end too,
around. So.
of that committee.
We're almost to the end.
Second committee on June 18th of, yeah. Oh, and the last one, I think you've got to just kind of Ally and is pull together a 4-person committee on that. And it could be members or, ask people to help.
For the messy hand stuff.
No, that's on the varsity thing. And on both of those, make 2 different committees. Lodging. Have you asked the artists if they are willing to stay in a home?
Like at someone's house,
What?
like at somebody's house.
Yes,
Ooh,
Like Catherine Dolan.
mine.
Your house?
Mine.
Like, whose house?
My house, basically. I am willing.
Okay.
I've got, extra bedroom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a whole 7-block walk. It's not
Yeah.
far.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, the rules of the Arts Council is has to be totally up to the artists. Otherwise, we have to provide a hotel.
Okay,
And in the past, VCDC gets hotel rooms as comps or as matching funds.
Kind donation or something, or. Yep.
And that's where we've gotten our hotels donated by VCDC from
Okay.
their
Ah,
matching fund hotel slots. So approach VCDC and ask if they have any available.
okay.
and that is a great opportunity to introduce yourself to the new interim executive director, Nancy, who seems really great. A
Cool.
real breath of fresh air at that place.
Great.
Great time to make a connection and start building a relationship. with the new VCDC.
And
Uh,
this has been done before, so. yep.
Yeah, yep.
So Cynthia?
Yeah, so my only concern would be that, we're still in a pandemic, and if somebody stays, it's probably safer to have somebody stay in a hotel than stay in your house. I mean,
True.
unless you're gonna ask them to, I guess, test a couple times before they stay with you.
Good
I
point.
don't know, I kind of want to protect you, Phyllis.
Thank you. That was, I had forgotten for a little
No.
while.
And if anybody hasn't noticed, it is raging again here. I
Okay.
personally know
Never
1,
mind my
3,
offer.
4, 5, 6, 7. I think I know 7 or 8 people right now personally that are positive right now.
I do too, and I know one that is really, really sick,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have any underlying conditions.
Yep, this little guy's dad is vaccinated and young, and he was very nearly hospitalized.
Oh,
But-
gosh.
Yeah.
Yep. And okay, so never mind on the home.
I hate to even think about that again. It's so hard to get my head back in that space, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could check with Maloney's Airbnb or the new place on Main Street too, but I would check first with VCDC
Okay,
because that can be pretty expensive.
yeah,
Mhm.
Right. I have to exit. Good
okay.
evening, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. I'm gonna leave before the tears start. Here come the waterworks.
Baby.
So anything for the good of the order?
I just want to bring up a little thing on a personal note. My last day at USD is Friday. I'm going back to my own business, so I'm
Congratulations.
incredibly busy for the next while getting things ramped back up. So just so you know, if you see me pulling my hair out, that's what it's about.
Aaron, what were you doing for USD? Can you remind me?
What was I doing? I
Yeah.
was the campus photographer.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So
cool.
I was doing all the marketing work. So
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a big job.
yeah, they weren't paying enough. Anyways.
So now he gets to do billboards for himself. Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry. For those of you in town and around on Friday, we're doing a little Final Friday. We're starting it. It's a new thing. Final Friday in Vermillion. But we're doing a little opening for Claire's collection of.
This is solo exhibition for the South Dakota Arts Council grant.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna.
I pitched it really boring, but we'll have cheese and snacks.
Probably a little bit of cheap wine.
Yeah, some wine. But that is from,
Right?
6 to 7:30 ish.
I don't know, I have to look on our website.
So
Check my press release.
come by 7 Center.
Okay. Very cool.
And Martha, you might put that on the list for the Arts Council to start contemplating Final Friday. So-
We're gonna try to do something
Each month.
each month on the final Friday here, slowly, impromptu to begin with, but that.
I've been planning this for a year.
Well, no, but I mean, it goes on. So, but
It's from 6 to 7:30.
yep.
Your mask if you're not vaccinated.
Yeah. All right. That's all I have.
Great.
Yep. Okay.
And let's see, I have a one-person exhibition that's going up the end of June in Worthington, Minnesota at the Nobles County Arts Center. And the opening to that is July 15th on a Friday,
Okay.
4:30 to 6:30. So if you want a trip to Worthington,
Very cool.
I haven't been to Worthington in years.
neither have I. I taught there years ago, so this should be interesting.
I should have gotten in trouble in Worthington many, many times.
You should have gotten in trouble there. Okay.
I'll tell you those stories someday, maybe.
Okay. I think I know who and was your compatriot. come
All right, but I move that we adjourn.
Just so you know, I'm in town. It would be fun to see everybody. I don't know, a meeting in person is necessary, but if you all wanted to get together, it'd be kind of fun to see everybody. We could maybe do it outside, but just to throw it out there, I'm around July 11th through the 15th. So yeah. So anyway, just because I am rarely there, I thought I'd throw that out there. It'd be nice to see everybody if we want to.
Well,
I don't
you know where to find us. We'll be here doing messy hands.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know you'll be there for Messy Hands, that's for sure. So
So
yeah.
are you leaving the 16th?
Yeah, to go to Oxford. I fly out with Jacob and Alexis on the
Ah.
the 16th. Yes.
So you could go to my show the night before. Oh.
If I could. Alexis has a concert though for her music camp on the 15th. So
That's a good try.
but depending on how late your exhibit is open, you could give me the address and the time, and it's possible. If I'm packed for your.
No, it will be done by 7:30. But it's up through August if you're back at all.
Am I back? That's a good question. Yeah, yes, I am.
Oh,
I will be
okay.
back in August.
I'll send you information closer to or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I think around the first week of August, I should be back with the kids. So yeah.
Because it's up
Cool.
all through July and August. So
Okay, fantastic.
cool. Oh, and one more thing, I'm advertising. In the month of June, I'm being featured in Siouxland Women Today magazine or whatever it is out of Sioux Falls and Sioux City. So
Fantastic.
pick up a copy.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Well, thank you all. I think we've done pretty well here. Any names or thoughts, for people who could be board members or committee members? Please give them to Ally and Martha.
Please do. That would be great.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.